Alright, I showed you how we've swapped hinges from one door to the next. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take these hinges off and transfer them, but they're going to come in the other way because the door is going to open the other way now. The lock, we'll transfer that too, but it'll stay in the same place. And the reason we're doing all this is because the door's broke anyway. So we're just going to swap everything from one door to the next. Now I had the other video where it showed you cut all these hinge guides out, and we use them. Well, this time I'm going to freehand it. It's not as good as doing it with some guides, because your guides are going to give you pretty much a perfect fit on your hinges. But this is just in case you don't have the guides or you have no way to make them and you want to try to freehand it, which you can. Okay, a lot of door handles have these hidden keepers in here, and what you need is just a little small screwdriver. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a little keeper, and a lot of doorknobs are like this, especially when you don't see the screws. Now some of the commercial locks are a lot more difficult. I'm not even going to get into them. This is just mostly for residential. You push that in, there we go, and then it pulls off. See, there's a little keeper right there. Okay, pull that off, and there's a little indent right here where you stick a screwdriver. It might not be right here, it might be somewhere, anywhere around this lock. Use that just to pop that off. There's your two lock screws, take them off, and then everything comes apart. It's pretty much self-explanatory. The nice thing about these locks, you don't have to take the screws all the way out. Your two screws line up for the big hole, and then it twists around. Well, if I can hang on to it. Twist around, and then it locks into place, and then you just tighten your screws down. Anyway, now we got to get our lock mechanism off here. Hey, see what we're going to do. These hinges are going to come off, and then they're going to be reversed and go down here. So instead of these things being routed where they're facing up, they're going to be routed where they're facing down. And you want to make sure that you have the panels in the right order. In other words, you got the little panels on top, and you put the little panels on top. And then sometimes you will run into a door. See how you've got, it's been planed down, the old one that is, it's been planed down, and then you've got this extra right here. So what you need to do is you need to be sure to plane, do all your, in other words, you want the new door to be the exact same as the old door if it fit good. Because what's going to happen if you don't do it, then what you might have is you'll have a door that's not going to fit your hinges, or it's going to be dragging at the top. You'll want to give yourself at least a heavy 1/8, 3/16 of an inch all the way around interior door, especially these hollow core doors. These things swell and shrink so bad, so give yourself plenty of room. Okay, now when you transfer these in, remember you're going the opposite way. In other words, we're going to be turning these hinges over, so we need to transfer them across, and you want to get a pencil with a really good sharp point. And the reason is you're going to be cutting over the line anyway, so when you do cut over the line, you don't cut over a whole lot, you just cut over just a hair. Okay, get your square, run up till you hit your hinge, and then just slowly work it down. put your mark, and then you just want to kind of fill in the bottom so you know which side it's. In other words, it's going to come up and go this way now. Okay. Same way on the other side. Okay. Get it over there. Get your mark down. Okay. Now you want to see how far down your hinge comes. Now you don't want to measure the hinge itself, you want to measure the door and see where the bottom of the hinge is. In this case it's 1 1/8 inches, so that means you come up 1 1/8 inches. Okay. Now we need to do the other 2 hinges exactly the same way. Do not move. You can use your square. It is a little easier. Think of it is, knife's always going to follow the grain. Okay, what you want to do is you want to set it up for about 3/16 from here to your base plate. It's easier to shim it than it is to try to recut it deeper. Or, since you have it deeper, then you always have a chance to run the planer over the top of it and still be deep enough for your hinge. In other words, you wouldn't have to shim it. So always remember, always run it just a little bit more than what the hinge is. That way you're protected from having to do it again, because recutting the hinge a second time is really difficult. It's harder than the first time. Okay. Got this set up. That's about, well, that's about 1/4. There's about, to me, that's about 3/16. So we're going to lock that down. Yeah, I got to have a way to hold this door up. I know we've all got scrap wood laying around somewhere. In this case, I just happen to have a 2x4, and so what I'm going to do, this is going to be my helping hand. We're just going to cut us a slot out of here, about like that, probably about 2 inches deep, so our door will go down in there. So we'll have an extra hand. Okay, and then of course the next best thing to having the 2x4 pinch, you can just throw you some shims in there. But I just wanted to show you this.